Breaking news to bring you now. We're being told by the police that a body has been recovered from the River Thames, which is linked to the Clapham attack. Detectives leading the hunt for Abdul Ezedi, who's wanted for a brutal attack on a mother and her children in Clapham, believe his body has been recovered from the river. We can speak now to our crime correspondent, Martin Brunt, who has more on this. Martin, do we think it's him?
The police, well, they've announced that they found a body that they believe is him. I'm just looking at what the Metropolitan Police have just put out. So yesterday afternoon, around 4 o'clock, the crew of a passing boat reported that they'd seen a body in the river near Tower Pier. So that's in East London, or on the edge of the city. The body was recovered and has been looked at by the detectives working on the case. There's a brief comment from Commander John Saville, who's overseeing the operation looking for Ezedi. He says that based on distinctive clothing he was wearing at the time of the attack and the property found on his body, we strongly believe that it is Ezedi's body. So there's no formal identification, but the fact that the police are saying so much, the fact that they've contacted his family to pass on this news, suggests, as they say, strongly believe that it is his body. Formal identification, they say, is not going to be possible visually, nor from fingerprints, and that's really a measure of how long his body has been in the water since that night when police believe he jumped from Chelsea Bridge, which was where he kind of disappeared off the CCTV cameras that police had used to track his movements that night, several hours after the alkali chemical attack on a woman who we believe he was in a relationship with and her 2 children. The police go on to say that the woman victim, his woman victim, who was 31, her condition has improved. She's still in hospital in a stable condition and no longer sedated. So if there is some good news as this story continues, it's that his principal victim is recovering.
Martin, when the police said that they believed Ezedi had jumped into the river, they said at the time they weren't expecting to find his remains for quite some time. Is it a bit of a surprise that he's turned up this early?
I think they'll be relieved that they found him so quickly. Mark, Ian, the number of bodies that emerge from the Thames, it can be up to 50 a year. But there are others that get snagged under the water, get caught up in all sorts of things, or indeed some that are thought to go all the way out to the river estuary. So I think the fear was that they wouldn't find his body. They may be surprised that it's turned up so quickly, but it seems that their own searches hadn't been able to find him. But he was, this body that they now believe is him, was spotted by a passing boat yesterday afternoon. So I suppose this is a story that's had so much wide publicity that anybody on a boat on the Thames in the past 2 or 3 weeks perhaps would have been aware of the possibility of seeing a body, and that appears to have been exactly what's happened.